Hello everyone. I know I just made a video on this about 5 episodes back, but I feel the need to bring it up again now that I realize it's much stronger than I made it out to be. In fact, this bomb, mortar, COBRA loadout might even be too strong. Now I already talked about it being super good versus farms because you can prevent them from building a factory by adjusting, and then slowly drain them out of cash simply by rushing them as millions of combo regrow ceramics come their way, but change super good to unbeatable if the COBRA user plays it correctly. Now I wasn't able to find the best players in the world in these Moab pit games, so take it with a grain of salt. But I have seen a few others' videos on it and the strategy seems pretty damn difficult to beat as a farm user. As for eco users, not sure, but I reckon you can do the same thing and prevent them from building their income by doing the same thing as you would versus farms. So again, not the most convincing games to show you the strategy is OP, but believe me, I think it's the best strategy out there at the moment if you can get the hang of it. So in this first game this guy really fucked himself over by sending that rainbow rush. Part of why this strategy is so strong is that you legit can't kill them with anything before round 22 at the very least. Just sell the COBRAs and that should give you enough wiggle room to survive anything with the recently buffed bomb and mortar towers. Now that this guy basically sold all his farms, it's pretty much over for him. He's gonna give it one last go with a Moab layered with ceramics. But all those COBRAs will do a whole lot of damage versus them, enough damage that you aren't even required to build any maulers. And that's GG. Just a note in advance, none of these games in this video last very long, so you won't be seeing my execution versus late game ZOMGs or above. But again, I'm sure someone with more experience with this strategy will want to plug their channel, so check the comments in case you're curious. I ain't got time for hardcore testing private matches when I have to grind this skill-based ladder. Anyways, the plan in this video is to use this loadout in every map possible, even maps where this loadout would be subpar with poor mortar or bomb spots and whatnot. Obviously this doesn't include hydro dam, indoor pools, zen garden, ink blood or ice flow, but everything else is fair game. I'd say Interchange is a pretty decent map to use this strategy on. The only downside is the mortar spots aren't perfect at defending every combo Bloon. So fast forwarding a bit, he's going to send a tiny rainbow/zebra rush at me, but it's not gonna do shit with this OP defense I have. Plus it was a tiny rush. Any bigger and all I'd need to do is simply boost or build a second cannon. Now begins the time I start to drain him. Because he's nowhere near close to having a factory and poor farm income, he's absolutely screwed. Poor guy brought cannon too, so he's gonna have to rely on mass juggernaut spam to survive. He begins to realize his fate, so I suppose it's in his best interest to rush me. I didn't think I'll have enough time to misdirect this BFB before popping it, so let's just defend it. Thankfully I prepared and placed some bomb towers down in advance, so I just to upgrade them all, boost, and that's basically the nail in the coffin for him. Again, not the best player in the world I'm facing considering he only has a 2-to-1 win ratio, but even some of the best can fall easily to this OP loadout. So that begs the question, does the COBRA require nerfing, or is it the bomb or mortar that is too strong? Personally I think it's a mix of all three, cause COBRA synergizes so well with the bomb and mortar, covering its early game weaknesses of picks and balloons as well as providing decent Moab popping power. Plus, no other COBRA loadout such as Dart and Ace or Boomerang and Village can compare. So what can be done? Not sure, but I wouldn't be too against a COBRA nerf, just as long as they don't completely gut it and make them irrelevant. Like Tyler said, COBRAs give another level of strategic variety to the game, and it would be great to have them on a level where it can compete with the farm, but not completely overwhelm them as is sort of the case right now. Something like a little price hike for balloon adjustment would help a bit, Or perhaps going the opposite route and buffing farms is an option, but I wouldn't know unless I were to try them out myself. Anyways, I skipped through the third game pretty quickly because it wasn't very exciting. That guy was pretty trash judging by his peripherals and gameplay, so it didn't take very long for the adjustment to kill him. Now we're against one of the guys in the REC clan, on Super Monkey Lane. Not sure when they added this map in high arenas, but I'm digging it. It's a nice intermediate map that's at least different than the other maps in terms of shape, and the way this one is laid out makes the bomb mortar COBRA strategy pretty subpar, cause no mortar spot can single-handedly catch all balloons. You'll need two for that. Luckily I do have a boat as my fourth just in case of BFBs or camo balloon leaks. So I personally don't remember what the best execution of this strategy in the early game is, but what I've been doing is getting 2 wired funds up before round 2 for that sweet 160 cash, and by the time the opponent's reds goes through the track I will have enough money to place a bomb tower down by then. Works like a charm for me. And the thing is, you don't even need to upgrade the bomb tower either if they're not sending anything, which would be the case most of the time versus farm users. That means you can afford to go mad eco like no other strategy can give you. Literally all you need to survive up to round 10 is a $2,000 cannon, plus 2 miniature farms that help deal with strong balloons as well. Pretty insane if you ask me. Normally 600 eco on a map like this would be great for eco players, but on top of that I'm also getting 320 bucks around from these 4 COBRAs, part of what makes this strategy stupidly strong. Anyways, Yoshi is going to send those camo yellows, but what did I tell you? That 4th boat tower sure came in handy. If not for that boat I might have had to spend another 1,000 plus on another mortar if I got unlucky. Looks like he's going for a zebra rush too, but I'm guessing he hasn't played against this strategy very much because everyone should know nothing is gonna get past this defense. Maybe regrow ads, but a boost should do. Meanwhile Yoshi is completely neglecting his side of the screen, and I think that's gonna be game even with the boost. Didn't see anything leak on my screen, but that's due to ping differences. Always prepare for round 15 guys. Regrow leads are deadly as fuck, no matter what kind of defense you have. Just some seem to do better than others. Bomb COBRA mortar is decent versus them, but it could struggle if the bomb isn't placed in a good spot like that last map. Oh, and look who we have here. That name sounds familiar, doesn't it? It's almost as if I just played him last video, lol. Oh wait, that's because I actually did. And if you don't recall, he was the one that disconnected, so what are the odds we run into each other again to hopefully settle the duel? I will say it's a little unfair though because the map is a game. This strategy shouldn't even be legal on this map to be honest, and you'll see why. That AI balloon path is just so cruel to farm users because there's nowhere you can place a juggernaut effectively to deal with balloon adjustment. Even with a 2-3 ace in the middle it still isn't gonna be enough to cover all 358 degrees of that circle. I say 358 because as you can see there's a little bit of a gap on the side. So while this map does appear to have a decent spot for mortars in the triangle in the upper middle, don't let it fool you cause it's pretty bad, at least bad enough that you'll need to get 2 of them up if you want it to hit the AI track. Yeah, especially with these camo yellows coming in on round 17. You know I probably should have just tanked those lives and used it on balloon adjustment instead to kill him faster, but oh well. Notice how he's already starting to struggle despite the ace as well as those juggernauts on the very top. I wasn't kidding when I said this strategy is basically highway robbery on this map. Rest in peace my friend. Just like the other guy earlier on in the video, he's not going down without a fight, but defending this should be a piece of cake. Easy as 1 2 3 ABC. So yeah, I know a few competitive players at the moment frown upon COBRA users in this current meta and call them no-skill noobs, but can you blame them? Who the hell wouldn't want free as fuck wins? I mean, On this account I sure don't, but I'm just doing this so I can show you how OP it is. And spread more of that cancer in arenas, COBRA. It's not like you can hop in with a 100% win rate right from the get-go though. It may not be quote-unquote as skillful as farms, but using COBRAs still requires proper micro or whatnot. If I just stood frozen during those rushes sent at me in this video, then I probably would have lost a lot of them. So I think it's fair to give this guy a rematch and give him another chance to redeem himself on Water Hazard, which mind you is not that great a map for this strategy, though I suppose you could just swap Mortar out for a nuclear sub. He knows what I'm going to do, so surely he will know what to do when I start adjusting right. Let's see by skipping forward to round 18. Actually no, round 12, cause I gotta show you this colossal fuck up right here. I thought I upgraded the mortar to combo detection, but I think I pressed the wrong button. Oops, if I had died there that would have made number 1 on Shack 10 a fool if there was an equivalent of one for Bloons. He may be the one face palming at me, but we'll see who's more deserving of the taunt at the end. So here we go with the adjustment for the 100th time. Nuclear subs are pretty good versus it, but could he handle it along with the pressure of the BFB I plan to send on round 20? At the very least this is gonna force him to get a fan club to defend. Or not, maybe he'll just die to AI, lol. So guys, if you want to pad your stats for the next few weeks, take some time to practice this. I don't have any advice if you run into someone using the same strategy though, so good luck. Let's aim for 1K likes again. Have a wildly overpowered day.